Okay, so once the MobSF is successfully loaded into the browser, then the next thing is you have to analyze the APK file. So in order to analyze, we have to upload the APK files. So whatever the application you want to analyze, the MobSF should handle. You can upload it. So I'm just browsing it. Let me see what all the APK files I have. I have a list of APK files. So let me take Secure Bank APK files, and then after that you click on open. So what will happen is MobSF will take the APK file that you have pushed, and then it will start analyzing it. So as you can see, the message appears as analyzing. So it will analyze the files, APK files completely. It will also, it will search for all the components within the APK. It will try to load the files. It will decompile the source code. It will make a conversion of the small codes, and then it will try to load all the uh, dependencies. It will also scan for any. It will scan for the sensitive information or hard-coded credentials or any sensitive informations you have. It is present inside the APK file. So meanwhile, it is taking a little bit of time. It will take ample amount of time because it will scan all the components. Basically, MobSF is used for both static analysis and dynamic analysis. But as in static analysis, you have to just supply the APK files, and the rest of the work will be done by the MobSF. But again, if we talk about, it will give the complete overview. So, like this will be detailing out the application components, packages used, dependencies, what the you are imported or it has to be exported information, and yeah. So most of the applications that are developed nowadays has to go with this process, identify the vulnerabilities, and so if this application or this F tool, MOVSF tool or the setup is installed successfully, then do a lot of steps identifying the vulnerabilities, weaknesses, what are the mapping items. You can have a lot of scope identifying the vulnerability. Now let me stop for a while. So now you can see the MobSF has successfully published the report after analyzing. So here are some, I would not tell some, but complete detailed information of the APK. So as you can see here, what was the file that was scanned? It is insecure bank v2.apk file. What is the size? What is the package name? com.android.insecurebank v2. You can see the package name, and also you can see the version name. What is the Android version? Now you can also see the activities, services. So exported activities, exported services. So these are the exported services are the concerns for us to check. And what are the receivers, providers, scan options. Here it will also allow you to view the source in a separate section. Like if I click on view source, you would able to see the source and of the particular APK file, as you can see here. So it is in Android. So you can see now the package. What is the package includes com android and secure bank v2 is the package. It is the reflections java, config file, broadcast receiver, track user, content provider. So you can see the files of the like java files, and you can make some changes based on your need. You can identify or look for sensitive information or hard-coded credentials. You can debug it. You can modify the parameters, change it, check it again, compile it. You can do a lot of stuffs to analyze the APK files. Now if I go back, now it will also allow you to view the small codes or download the Java code. It also gives the options to download the small code and download APK. So if you want to download the APK again for your need, then you can download it again. Uh, Now it gives a scan options to rescan or start dynamic analysis. Uh, Below it comes the certificate, like application, the signed information is given below. Now looking on further for the application permissions, so it will tell you what the application has access to. So you can see it is having Android permission, access course location. So you'll also see the description on the right, access code location sources such as mobile network database to determine appropriate phone location where available. malicious application can use this to determine approximately where you are. So it will tell you what are the permissions that are enabled um, or given authorized to this particular application package. So you can see write external storage, read, modify, delete, allows an applications to write to external storage. So these are some of the few permissions that is not recommended to write to external storage, but you can verify based on the need of the application. Use credentials and allows an applications to request authentication tokens. So you can verify these are the permissions that it is showing up to the user, but the user has to verify what are the uh, exact requirement of the application. Now moving further, it will show the APIs if there is anything in use. So no data available in the table, browser well activities, nothing is available, network security, nothing. Certificate analysis. So here, as you can see, there is one high and one info. So as you can see, it says application vulnerable to Janus vulnerability, which means application is signed with V1 signature scheme, making it vulnerable to Janus vulnerability on Android. This 5 to 8 version, if signed only with V1 signature scheme, application running on this signed with V1 and V2 scheme is also vulnerable. So application is signed with the code signing certificate. So you can verify this detailed information. It will also give you the manifest files analysis. As you can see here, manifest analysis. What is the uh, uh, what is the issue here? So application can be installed on a vulnerable and patched Android version. Okay, so if the application is installed on a lower versions, then it might be susceptible to the attackers or lead to certain vulnerabilities. Now debug enabled for apps. So you can see the method is that debuggable true is. So here we should not encourage the applications to enable the debug methods here. As you can see, Android debuggable is true. So we should recommend not to allow this debuggable feature because it will allow the applications or the malicious attackers to reverse engineers, modify the code, and do certain malicious activities. So again, it has detected the backup to be true warning. So these all methods you have to cross check, verify what are the requirements, and based on that we should allow the features to work. Now certain things like code analysis, there is nothing. Shared library binary analysis, which is the SO files. Now moving on to the okay, malware analysis, APK ID analysis. If there are any APKs, as you can see here, it is publishing the dex classes.txt file. So it is telling that the findings is anti-VM code. What are the details? These are the detailed build methods, which certainly has to be checked. And in the classes.txt file that is being declared here, manipulator found, dex merge. So these are few things that we have to quirk analysis and server locations. Server locations is like if the application is using any of the external uh, applications or external services, and the servers are located in different regions, then it would showcase the server locations. Now moving on to the relocations phase, URLs here, if there are any external URLs that is being integrated with the application, it will show up here. FireS databases, emails, if there are anything that is hard coded, it will show up here. Trackers as in the sense, okay, here are a few trackers that is listed out, like and for the analytics purposes or the advertisement purposes, so Google is using Google trackers are being used. Now possible hard coded secrets, yes, this is like the hard coded credentials are can be identified, or the API keys that are being identified. You can see here login screen, password, username. So you have to identify whether these keys, if there are any API keys that are being sensitive. Now moving on to there are strings. There are a lot of strings available here used in the application. So you can see the strings used in the uh, different languages. A lot of strings that has been used. Now going to the components. So what are the activities? As you can see, login activities, file preferences activities, post login, do login, wrong login. What are the activities when you perform? So view statement, change password. These are the activities. There are services, no services, receivers. There are receivers like broadcast receiver, enable wallet optimization receivers. So as you can see, there is a detailed explanation of what it is. APK file is compact. My broadcast receiver, providers, track user content providers. So you can check for these providers for the vulnerabilities, files. What are the files that is there? Okay. Now there is a yeah. So now there is one more feature here. You can on the MobSF you can look out for the recent scans if you have conducted anything in the past. So since there is only one scans that is being conducted from my end, that is in Secure Bank V2, so it will display the scans. There's one more thing, as you can see here in secure version, bank v2 is having a version 1.0. Suppose in a later case there is one more version got released with some patching or after some modifications or build process, so you can differ or compare. You can select this option, it will ask select app to compare. You can select that particular other versions and you can compare between these two. So comparing will give you all the results of the modified package or if patching activity of any updated modules. So it will list out all those things and you are good to proceed for the analysis. So this is all about the MobSF report as we saw. So basically we saw the static report and in the later case the dynamic analysis when we connect MobSF to our Android virtual device, we'll see how the dynamic analysis works. So that's all for today. Thanks and stay tuned for the next video.